What's up, Killer Knife fans? It's Monday, and I got another knife in the mail, and it's awesome. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but it's the Microtech Brachial, and it is freaking nice. I'm really liking it. Just been messing around with it for about 30 minutes. I'm going to give you guys a quick overview on it, and hopefully you can get your hands on one soon. Behind it is another little package I opened, which is 3 new Hanks from my buddy at Steel Capital on Instagram. Check him out. He's making really fantastic Hanks, all different kinds of backings, flannel, I forget what he calls this, fleece, and like a micro suede. Really beautiful. Check him out. If you've never heard of him, he's out there. He's on Instagram. Check him out. And now let's move on to the grand prize, the Microtech Brachial. I don't know what else to say other than I'm really kind of caught off guard at how awesome it is. You know, I think that there's a lot of singularity when it comes to autos, but as far as autos go, this might be the best auto I ever handled, and I'll tell you why. You got a beautiful, nice handle, and the blade is very thin and slicey. So right off the bat, I think that that's a big plus side. You know, other than my S&G auto, which I find to be extremely ergonomic. I'm a huge fan of Strider, so of course, you know, I'm a little biased towards that. But I think the action on this Microtech may have ProTech beat. I don't know. Microtech's not listening to me right now. I don't know how many people they're listening to, probably too many. They got a lot of crap going on, but the action on this is crazy. So snappy. Like, boy, it wants to fly. It wants to go flying. You got a very nice ergonomic handle, and you got a smaller knife here than the Microtech Stitch, which is very nice. So, you know, I don't find the Stitch to be overwhelmingly big. I just think that it is obviously bigger than this. You're looking at about a 3 1/4 inch blade on this of usable length, and probably right around 3.5 inches from point to jimping back here where the blade starts. You're looking about 3.5 inches. And you got about a 4 1/4 inch handle here. Very well sculpted, lots of cutouts, and it gets super thin here. You did a great milling job on this. It looks excellent. Number one, it's functional. You got a nice place for your fingers, and there is this stippling here that separates your middle and index finger, which is great. If you're looking for a little extra purchase, a little extra something to lock on, hold the knife in your hand when you're doing something, that is there. So I think that is a huge help. It's almost like a second finger choil if you look at it. So it's going to hold your finger in place while this holds the other finger in place. So you get like that extra firm grip. You got a nice backside jimping here, and you know, that's exactly for this, for reverse grip. You got a nice, it's almost like a cross section of jimping. So you got jimping. So you got lots of jimping, you know, east and west, and you got all this jimping both north and south too. So it's really nice. It's actually a very lightweight knife. We'll weigh it up in a second. You have this nice full-size backspacer and an integral lanyard hole here, which is really nice. So when you look at that from the side, you can't even see it really. So that's nice for the few people that like to use lanyards. This is there, and for the people that don't like lanyards, then they don't have to have an eyesore to look at, right? Another thing I noticed is the button. The button is very similar to the stitch as well. And it makes very little noise, which I'm always a huge fan of. It makes more noise right now, like when it's already open. It always depends how you press it, honestly. I always find if you press autos with like the lower side of your thumb and it covers most of the button, then it makes less noise. But a lot of times I find myself pressing the button on an auto with the front of my finger, and I feel like it always makes more noise than, like, you don't hear that at all now, right? So always interesting. I actually cut myself a little with the tip of the knife there. It's very, very, very sharp. And it's very, very thin behind the edge compared to other autos that I own. I can tell you that. So you got almost a full flat grind, and then right where the grind ends is where you see a swedge. You have a small flat on the backside, but ultimately you're looking at almost a full flat grind because the swedge is where it goes. I mean, it disappears. So basically a full flat grind knife, except for, I would say, what's this? I guess like the back inch side here. So if you're doing like push cuts with the back inch, then you're going to be pushing through a flat. But anything in the first 2 inches of the knife, it's going to be super duper slicey, and that's a huge plus side, especially in comparison to the stitch. Let me grab my stitch really quick. I actually didn't think of bringing it out, but I think it's pretty important to have right now. So, all right, here we go. Here is a Microtech stitch in comparison to the Brachial. All right, and you'll see clearly the stitch is the big brother there. And the button's not as similar as I thought. So good thing I got it to clarify that. I do like the frag pattern here. It looks like an inlay, the way they outlined it, or put the border around the frag. It looks really nice. I also do like the diamond pattern on the stitch. Look, obviously the stitch, I think they both have a really interesting look. I'm really happy to have this. It's a much more manageable size. And honestly, I think the action is way better. You're looking at a pretty similar knife though. Handle length is almost the same. Blade length is shorter and obviously thinner. I like to do these little comparisons there. It's almost like an inverted stitch with a thinner blade. Kind of cool. But let's check the action so I can show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, nice action. It's snappy, but you can hear the difference. Bang. Makes a big loud snap. I'm not sure what Microtech did. They may have put like another rotation on the spring in there. I'm not sure. You can even feel the tension between the two. There's more spring tension. This is almost like, it's not easy to close, but it's much easier. There's a lot less resistance. This has a strong amount of resistance to close it. Man. And it's a Bastinelli design, guys. So ultimately, you could think this has a lot of self-defense characteristics to it, and I can feel it and I can see it. And man, it's freaking cool. Yeah, so for an overview, you know, I feel really good about this. I'm really happy to have it. I think it's going to be pretty difficult to get. The Microtech stitch is still difficult to get, and it's been in production for, I don't know, 10 to 11 years. And it's still really hard to buy. You know, they do a few drops here and there, and people are just, you know, they're waiting at the door to grab them up. So if you can get your hands on this, I'm highly recommending it right away. I'll do a full review coming up, but, you know, I can tell you right off the bat first impressions. This knife is excellent, very excellent. And you can see just like it's so much thinner and slicier than the Stitch. I mean, probably a much more useful blade in general. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Definitely follow me on Instagram. Follow my buddy Steel Capital on Instagram. Buy some of his awesome hanks. They're really, really excellent. You know, I say that they're superior quality. They look beautiful and they're really functional. I love what he does with them. So that's that. Have a great day, guys. Peace.